know, we like to cook a little bit on Wednesdays, and we also want to teach. I mean, all of the experts on the show have been trying to teach me for years how to cook. Maybe I'll listen this time around. Jonathan Collins is here today.
Great to see you.
Good to see you too. I do listen to you guys. I absolutely do. But we thought, you know what? We've got Jonathan. You're such a natural educator and a natural teacher. You're such a pro. So let's start a new series, okay? We're going to start a new series. It's called Kitchen Basics, okay? Starring the one and only Jonathan Collins, Kitchen Basics. This is where you're going to get your cooking 101. And today we start with sautéing.
Sauté, and sauté literally means in French to jump out of the pan. So that tells you, yeah, exactly. It tells you a little bit about it already.
Yeah.
It tells you that it's going to be a quick cooking method. It's going to be a hot cooking method. That's what causes everything to jump out of the pan.
Okay.
So the number one rule is preheat the pan. So what happens when you put product into the pan and it's cold? It starts to steam or to boil instead of sautéing. And sautéing is what develops flavor. We want to get rid of that moisture, and we want to caramelize and concentrate everything that's in there.
Okay, so a hot pan.
A hot pan. So I've got two pans going here. I'm going to start with a chicken recipe, and we're going to do asparagus. Two very common things. And you'll notice I've just put camelina oil in.
Yep.
Now, camelina oil has a high smoke point, which is really important because I'm going to add some butter. A little bit of butter because you get a ton of flavor from it. And you'll see in the pan that these are already beginning to melt because I have preheated these pans. I'm just going to turn them up just slightly, and then we can start to cook.
Very cool. Okay, so you want the hot pan, you want an oil that's going to have a high smoke point.
Exactly.
And then
you don't want to overcrowd the pan, as I said. So you'll see here I've got some beautifully prepared asparagus, trimmed nicely. They're gorgeous. It's going to be Ontario asparagus season soon.
Reminding me of summer.
Exactly. So I'm literally going to drop those in. One of the nice things about sauté, even though you're going to want to cover it because you don't want to make that splattering mess, it's a dry heat cooking method. So you absolutely cannot cover. We want to get rid of the moisture. Even when the dish is done, you can see our beautiful chicken here. If you were to cover that up, what would happen?
It would be moist.
And who wants the skin? You want nice crisp skin?
You want crisp skin.
Because eating is all about texture as well.
Yes.
So we've got some things rolling here. Let's get this chicken prepared.
All right.
So, you know, skin on, skin off, doesn't matter. The key is with sauté is it is all of your favorite recipes, but it's the principles of sauté that you want to take home today.
Right.
So a little bit of salt on top. We're going to do a little bit of lemon zest. This is going to activate as soon as the heat hits it.
Yeah.
And one of the things about this new series that you're gonna know for sure is that it doesn't take very many ingredients to make really incredible food.
It's just about doing it right, really.
It's about the procedure. So again, you know, make sure to preheat the pan. You can see while my pan is preheating, I was able to get the chicken ready. Now I'm going presentation side down, and I'm going to roll that in, making sure that it's in some of the fat.
Yep.
Now, imagine if I had 4 of these chicken breasts this size.
Too crowded?
Too crowded, and I'm not going to be able to develop flavor. And I'm going to do some more things to develop flavor. Always making sure to season both sides. And then I'm going to add some fresh thyme. Now, fresh thyme, what that will do is as soon as it hits the heat, it will activate. And so any of the essential oils, if you've got like an essential oil, you know, those little things at home, it's the essence that we're looking for here. So first of all, it smells incredible.
So good.
So as soon as we put it in the pan, it begins to pop and begins to activate, and you're going to love this. The best part of this particular dish is the fact that we're going to make use of this lemon because we're going to caramelize it just by sticking it in the bottom of the pan and cooking that away. And look at what we end up with. This becomes a garnish that can be served.
Okay.
And so you imagine the flavor of roasted lemon juice.
Yes, very nice. This is the stuff you want to take out before you eat it because it's just annoying.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And, well, if you strip it off, and the nice thing is if you put it in whole like that, it's easy to pull it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be on a first date and having thyme in your teeth. You have great breath, but I mean, come on. So again, sautéing, because it is a dry heat cooking method, it's also a quick method. So this is not something that I'm going to go walk away.
Okay,
so
keep your eye on it.
Yeah, this is something you want to stay with for a couple reasons. You're going to know by how it smells and how it looks. So you can see with the asparagus here, they're beginning to sing to us.
Yes.
They're starting to
Sing away, little asparagus.
Exactly.
They're happy.
Now, if you at home, if you've been doing, steaming or maybe even blanch them ahead of time, the other great thing about saute, one pan. Is there anything better than one pan?
We love that.
Easier to clean up and great cooking flavor.
Okay, so when you're doing the asparagus, do you have to do anything with it? Are you moving them around, making sure they're evenly covered with the oil?
You are. So in a pan like this, all you're going to do, evenly covered with oil, and just making sure to circulate them a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, this is a cast iron pan, so it's got some residual heat that's going to be carried.
Yep.
And then we've got some lighter weight pans that are more responsive and use a little bit less energy. So you can use cast iron, non-stick, or even a stainless steel pan.
Doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter. So you can get good flavor development with all types of pans.
Okay, lovely. So in the end, what is the recipe that you're making here? What kind? It's a lemon chicken,
So it's lemon thyme chicken.
Lemon thyme chicken.
Finish it with some beautiful clover honey.
Lovely.
So we can see here, let's see if this has begun to develop. You can see as that begins to develop, it's starting to, but really what we're looking for here in about 6 minutes time is you're looking for that beautiful finish.
Right.
So with chicken, larger cuts of meat, you may want to finish it in the oven, but the key is like this, you're talking about a cooking time that's 5 to 7 minutes, and it's ready to go to the table.
Anything else we need to know about sautéing?
There is, and we'll come back and I'll show you a little bit more about sautéing.
Okay, we will complete it. I love it. So you're going to know by the end of this series everything you need to know about cooking, and then probably we should test me. That's what we should really do.
Well, I hope you're paying attention.
I'm paying attention.
I've got a little chef hat for you, and we'll straighten you out.
We'll do it right. Okay. We are taking you back to the basics in the kitchen. So that was a gorgeous sautéed shrimp with lemon, garlic, and rosemary. And the lesson today has been all about sautéing.
Absolutely. And one of the things that goes along hand in hand with sautéing is deglazing.
Okay.
And now here's that beautiful chicken that we finished.
Oh, that's so good.
Look at what's left inside that pan.
Well, that's good stuff.
That's where all the flavor is. Now, deglazing, you can use, in this case, a nice white wine. You can use chicken stock. You can use water. But the key is you just put it in and turn up the temperature, and then just gently swirl that around, even grabbing something like a wooden spoon so you don't scratch the bottom, bringing up all of that flavor. And all you're going to do, Tracy, is just reduce that until it's the texture you want, and then ladle that right over top of your sauce. So again, it's that one pan cooking.
Nice.
That's the benefit of sauté.
Okay.
So the other thing I've done, now I've started this incredible shrimp dish. Now, shrimp on its own is like a little bit like chicken in the sense that it's a blank canvas.
Yep.
So what I did is added some butter and oil. Now that's the hallmark for sauté. We've got the fat in the pan. But what I did, I was able to flavor it by putting in some garlic and a little bit of rosemary.
Nice.
So the pan is, again, hot. Gotta be hot. In with the shrimp.
Do you have to do anything to the shrimp, like take the water out of the shrimp, or do you care?
Completely drained. You're
Completely
on point.
drained.
That's one of the most important things, actually, that I completely forgot about. I'm glad you're paying attention.
Oh,
this is awesome.
no problem.
So proteins in particular, vegetables as well.
Yeah.
We need to get as much moisture out of the product before it goes in the pan. That way, it's less time in the pan, and ultimately, we'll have some better flavors and textures.
Okay.
So a little bit of salt and pepper, and I'm just going to literally. That's on high, and while that begins to saute, I've got another great dish here, and this is what it looks like to when it's finished.
That looks so fresh.
And what it is it's peppers and onions and tomatoes.
Yes.
But that dish, it's from the Basque region of France. Now, French cuisine, the reason it's so important to teach these techniques is they're the first ones to organize the kitchen in a way that we can do repeatable things. So that when you begin to do these techniques, you can get the same results again and again. So you see, I sauteed the onions in this recipe.
Yeah.
I'm going to deglaze right here, add just a little bit of this. Now, this is going to bring up all that beautiful flavor. You can see it start to essentially boil there, and that's going to reduce, and then all of these bright, beautiful, look at these colors. So I've got red pepper.
This makes me want to eat vegetables.
This makes you want to cook.
Yeah,
right? I mean,
well,
seriously.
I'm almost there.
Look how beautiful it is. You're almost there. I love it.
So good.
Green pepper. So we've got all of these beautiful flavors together. Again, it's a one-pan side. So imagine if you need a side for fish, if you need a side for chicken, this can be it. So I'm just going to season that with a little bit of salt and pepper. You don't need a lot. The important thing about adding salt at this stage is that it will help to draw out more of that water.
Okay.
Really, really critical. And then with the fat that's in the pan, just keep moving that around. And then what you'll end up having is you'll have everything will be cooked roughly the same texture. And notice the size. Did you see how everything was the same size? So that means that everything, it goes back to our little Knife Skills one we did a few weeks ago. So with everything the same size, what happens? You get uniform cooking.
Got it. Okay, and it's all going to cook the same. Shrimp,
starting to
super
turn pink.
easy, which is why I love it.
Yep.
It doesn't take a really long time in the pan, but all you're doing is sitting there and you're waiting for it to cook all the way through.
Beautiful.
And then you're donezo.
And then you're done. So what happens here? Now look at this. Imagine this. So this needs just a bit more reduction. But again, that pan sauce, if you send that out, what's the #1 complaint with chicken?
It's too cold, it's too rubbery.
And dry.
It's
always dry. Because we're so focused on making sure that it's cooked all the way through.
Right.
What happens in the end is we end up sacrificing some of that moisture.
Yeah.
Look at how beautiful that is.
That's good.
Send that out to the table. I guarantee you, you'll have chicken lovers at home.